technical difficulties over here. Of course, it will never be Kiara without technical difficulties. But some told me to look down, and I'm like, whole time the mics is non-existent right now, but it is what it is, and we're gonna just keep pushing. But like we was just talking about, hi guys, it's your girl Kiara. Welcome back to Into Inner Thoughts with Kiara podcast. Of course, before we get into the video, make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification button just so you can know the next time I post my next video. Oh gosh. Hi guys, so today is going to be episode 21. Before we get into the episode, I have a special guest next to me. What's your name?
Angelica.
Period. It's my friend Angelica, you guys. And so we've been wanting to do this video, and she got sick, then as y'all can see, I got sick. It's just been a lot going on, but we're here now, and we love that for us. But it's going to be episode 21, and it's going to be battling spiritual darkness. And fun fact, like, whenever and I met Angelica through work, and I had learned that she was, like, interested in, like, spiritual things, like crystals and readings and all those oracle cards, tarot cards, all that stuff. You know, she was interested in that stuff, and we may not know a lot about it, but we'd be interested in it. And so it was just like, I love that bond that we had built off of that, like our spiritual bond, because I pray for this in 2023 for us spiritual friends and just, you know, all that good stuff. And so I really wanted to do this topic with her because I feel like we would bounce off of each other really well with this topic. And I feel like I'm at a place now where it's like I be talking about all my spiritual darkness stuff that I be going through, but now I'm at that place where it's just like, now I understand why I went through the spiritual darkness that I went through. How did you feel whenever I actually did this topic?
At first I was like, spiritual darkness. I was like, I was like, I ain't talking about that. But then I was like, wait, I know how I can talk about that. I was like, actually, that would make sense, because when I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking about like depression and anxiety and just feeling overwhelmed, and obviously like to the range of like suicidal thoughts and just things like that. It's something that everybody goes through. Yeah. It's a part of life, and you're gonna have your moments. So I feel like everybody need to start opening up more about it, which we have. I think it's just the past generations before us and just how things were back in the day.
Yeah, they kept it very, what's the word? Like, they kept it to themselves.
Or just didn't believe in that thing, and such things. Like,
yeah, they'd be quick to say, if you say you depressed, you ain't depressed, you just going through something.
Right, go wash some dishes.
Yeah. Go wash some dishes. Go sit down somewhere, girl. Go read a book. Go read what depression is.
Right.
Yeah. Whole time you having all the symptoms. And they over there brushing it off because they didn't understand it, or that's just how they was, like, their parents treated it, so that's just how they treated it. Right. Versus actually understanding what that means, to where they were able to guide us through those hard times of what we were having and those bad thoughts we were having. And even with me, it was like at a young age sometimes, like, where I would be thinking about things that I shouldn't be thinking about, like not being here, or feeling like, oh, the world is just ending. And in reality, I was just going through a normal bad thing that most people go through. It's just that not a lot of people talk about it.
Adolescence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whenever I think about spiritual darkness, because you kind of told us about how you think about it. Whenever I think about spiritual darkness, I think about those things as well. I didn't think about that until you just said that out loud, but that is also a good one. Then I also think about just like, whenever things are going good for you, or things may not be going so good, either or, and there may be people that is wishing negative things on you. So it's just like, you're dealing with those negative battles that aren't even yours, or even whenever you date somebody and you get into a relationship with somebody and you take up on their heavy weight, the things that you never was even supposed to even be attached to, but since you wanted to be a part of that person's life, you attach yourself to those, those negative battles or those hardships that they went through.
Trauma bonds. Yeah. That's another thing, like, how do you even get to that point? And I think now that I've overcame a lot and gotten myself through a lot of things and took that time out to actually process what has happened, and I realized I have to be mindful in like every single little thing that I do, even just the conversations I have, the music I listen to, the movies and TV shows that I watch. Facts. I have to be mindful and also be aware of when, because I feel like sometimes our spirits can be sensitive. Like you'll just get like those gut feelings sometimes, and sometimes it's more intense than it usually is, and it'll be like moments like that, and just being more mindful. Like if I know I'm irritated, I probably don't need to be watching something where people are fighting or watching, little videos on, the internet of like customer service and people cussing each other out. And like, I can't be watching stuff like that if I'm in that moment, because it's just going to add,
it's going to fuel the fire.
That's exactly
makes it worse. That's just like music too. Like whenever we be sad or we just went through a breakup, it's just like, and we find the exact music of how we feel right there in that moment. Sometimes it can cause you to be stuck in that place for too long, longer than what you need to be. And then it causes you not to be able to get out of it. Or you stay in it too long. Like you do eventually get out of it, but you was in it for so long that now that you got out of it, now you just don't even know what to do, where to start, how to go, how to even move, because it was just like you were just so caught up in being sad or being upset that person did you wrong, whenever it's just like a lot of times what I learned is like battling spiritual darkness a lot of times is also the things that you chose to even be around you in the first place. So it's just like that hard part is taking accountability for the actions that you make. Because we be so quick to want to point the finger at everybody and how they made us feel this way, and it's like no one makes you feel any kind of way. You choose to feel that way. You choose to allow them people to get underneath your skin. You choose to allow them to make you feel like you're not worth it or you're less than. Like, you allow yourselves to build those words within you, so of course that's what you're going to believe, because that's what you allow. So it's just all in just learning to, easier said than done, block out the noise. But I learned that the best way to block out those things is by feeding yourself with positive words, listening to the right music to help you lift your spirits versus bring your spirits down. It may be hard to want to be happy in that moment, but it's important to, because then if you don't, then you will forget about you, and you'll forget about why you was even important in the first place. Yeah.
Man, I talked about like when we're in those seasons of being, down or whatever, and then when we actually get ourselves out of that, sometimes we don't even notice, and we're like, oh, a couple months will go by, and I'm like, dang, what do I do now? And I'm like, I don't know. Got my mind spiraling. Shoot. I don't know. I guess just being cautious, but you also have to be aware of your own emotions and things like that.
Yeah, very much so. Because if you're not self-aware of your emotions, then you're going to project all of how you feel onto that person. And then a lot of times we never know what other people are going through. So us projecting how we feel onto somebody else, you can make them feel 100 times worse than what they already felt. Or on another end of it, you can feed the ego that they wanted to even do in the first place. So now they feel like they won. They feel like they did what their mission was, which was to defeat you. And then on the other end of the stick, it may be that person that really didn't mean that, and that really wasn't their intention. But then just because you're upset and you're rah-rah and this is how you feel, and you're telling them projecting onto them of how you felt of what they chose to do versus just letting them know how you feel, and then they can tell their story. It's just like we sometimes can put too much onto somebody without even realizing that that person may not even know of what they even did in the first place.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just being a bigger person, just letting it go. And like, I get it. I probably did something the other day that was probably the same way. It's probably just my car.
Yeah, like, me too.
You know? So I mean, it's alright. Yeah, just being more mindful about what we're doing, what we're feeding ourselves. Are we feeding our spiritual, you know, the spiritualness inside of us? Are we, you know, reading our Bible? Are we meditating? Are we breathing? It can just be simple as that. Are you breathing throughout the day?
Yeah. Like being present in the moment.
Yeah. No, but like seriously, because when we're anxious and stuff, we don't breathe as much as we think we are. So our heads start to become, I don't know. That's a whole nother scientific thing.
I didn't know that.
But yeah, that's why they say practice your breathing so that you can study mindfulness. Yeah.
Because then that's when the anxiety comes in hand that you were talking about. Like, tell me a little bit about that. Like, whenever you were saying like you battle with that type of stuff.
I guess. Well, I'm a single mother, so the last 8-9 years it's been as a mother and just motherhood. It's always something that has to be done. You always got to do stuff. This is not right. And then just your child driving you crazy. You still got to take care of yourself, take care of her. You know, I don't really depend on much but myself, so it can be a lot sometimes. And definitely when you're trying to do better and you have those times when you're like, what if this don't go through, or you know, something like that. Like recently I just lost my previous apartments from a fire.
This is true. Yeah.
And I didn't have to move. They had other units, but they were upstairs. After you get a unit downstairs, you don't want to go back.
Yeah.
So
this is facts.
you don't want to go back. So I was like, no, I'll just go look somewhere else. And something told me to just go back to the other apartments I were looking at. So I went back to one of them because I know it was like all downstairs, like all flat, like kind of like duplexes. So I went by there and she was like, yeah, I have one available. And I remember that day I texted you, I was like, is one there? Because I was like, I need my pay stubs. I was like, I need them now. So, but yeah, when you're in the midst of doing all of that and trying to get everything done and provide documents or whatever that they need, you just be like, well, what if somebody, you start overthinking, like, what if somebody puts an application in too? I might not be the only one. What if this doesn't go through? And then definitely just like during that time, I didn't have no control in that. Like I was doing what I needed to do, but
you couldn't.
I wasn't even prepared for what was happening, but I was just thankful that I had support and people around me and people that was willing to help me and my daughter, and I didn't really worry. And then I was like, well, I ain't got no house, I might as well just be at work. So I was just at work all the time. And I had no problem with that. Yeah, that was a journey, and I think now I'm in a place where I am trying to transition. And then, you know, you do kind of, I wouldn't say fear, but knowing my patterns in the past on how I got into those dark places, being mindful of, well, you know, all this going on right now, it's probably not good for me to be listening to this kind of music. Like, I can't really, like, I think throughout that whole situation, I was like, I ain't doing nothing but watching church, listening to gospel music. I was like, I don't want to do nothing. Well, I need to focus and let this be an opportunity to, you know, get closer to God. So that's how I decided to look at it.
That's good though. I feel like I've been doing that a lot more here lately. Like, first it was my laptop went out, so I had to get an iPad. Then I deleted my whole entire iCloud storage plus my backup. Couldn't get nothing back, so I had to start all the way over. But then I was just like, now I don't get, not enough storage full, can't export this over to this. Now it'd be an easy breezy. I just be bouncing everything back and forth, and so it's just like the positive things that I look at now, like of the benefit that I am getting out of it. Like, yeah, my laptop may be gone, but I had it for 7 years, and now I port this thing everywhere I go. The iPad is just so portable. Like, it's easier. Then it's got internet on it, so my phone plan. It all worked out. Then it's just like, even though I lost all my pictures, everything on Facebook, I posted everything I needed to post in 2023, 2022, 2021. Y'all seen what y'all seen back then. Now I need to be in the present moment. I feel like that was God letting me know, like, I'm holding on too much to the past. Like, you got too much past in your phone. Like, I get that you keep saying physically you're moving out of the past, but in reality you're not, because you still go back and look at the pictures of this day, then you gotta go back to this. So it's just like Snapchat can remind you of that. Your phone don't need to have all that. You good. Like, it's okay. Like, I think I have like an attachment issue. Like, I hoard things. Like, I'm a hoarder.
You're not the only one.
Yeah, like, it's
you
really
see
bad.
How many photos?
Yeah, I believe you. Mine was like 5,000 something. It was crazy.
I barely go back and look at them. I just want to make sure I have them to where when it comes to me decorating my house, like, I have those pictures. Or, you know, growing up and seeing those photo albums and, you know, so have that stuff for like my kids and grandkids and whatever. So
yeah, that just taught me that I need to start printing out pictures and make me a whole photo book like my mom and them did back in the day. So it's just like just learning just like, it's okay that I want those pictures, but finding an easier way to have them tangible for me. It was just one of those moments. So now I just be like, hey, it is what it is. Everything happens for a reason. That's my go-to now. Everything happens for a reason. God said it needed to go, so it needed to go. I ain't gonna question it, because last time whenever I questioned
can't do anything about it
that you can't control. So I'm just learning not to be so controlling and so like let my anxiety get the best of me, because I'm so worried about I can't fix it. And it's like, it's because it never was meant for you to fix. Like, that was supposed to walk away from you, or you're supposed to go in this direction versus that direction. Like you said, I feel like you said you didn't want to say it was fear, but how I look at it from my experience, it was fear. Like, it was the fear of the unknown, the fear of what if, the fear of how can that be. How can that turn into a butterfly, but I'm still in this cocoon? Like, make it make sense. Like, how am I going to get wings after this process? Like, how can I trust that I'm going to get these wings? Because it may not be that I'm going to get these wings. I may die in the cocoon. You never know, you know? So it's just like, sometimes your mind just be roaming, boy, and it just be thinking about the most darnest things. You ain't never thought about that?
Goodness, I ain't thought about the whole butterfly metaphor. But, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's a process.
Just so sometimes I just see it as, let me get out of my own way and let what is be.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
And not worry about like the what ifs or could have beens or should have beens. You know.
Here's a question: when or how long ago was a moment where you really felt like you just couldn't see nothing positive?
Ooh. Nothing positive? A time where I felt like I couldn't look at the good in things. Ooh, that's a good one. I feel like I have two. One was whenever at work, whenever all that stuff was happening to me and I was being moved. And it was really hard for me to be positive in that situation. Like, it was really hard for me to look at like the good things that was gonna come out of it with me being transitioned like that, because to me I felt like I was embarrassed. I felt like I lost the opportunity that I had. I feel like I didn't do my best. I feel like I allowed other people to get to me. I felt like I defeated myself. Like, I felt like I didn't accomplish the things that I knew that I knew better of those things, but I still allowed it to defeat me and to make me feel like it was just, you suck, basically. Like, you ain't gonna never find a way out. You just stuck in this hole that you created. I feel like that moment, but then it was just like, it's so crazy that you asked that, because it's just like now currently I understand. Like now I wouldn't change any of it.
Right. That was the next question. I was going to be like, how has that transpired, or what opportunities do you think opened up from all that was going on, and how do you see how God worked in that situation?
You know,
That's a lot of questions.
No, it's a good question though. So basically, it helped me see. I was just talking to my sister about this today, my god sister, and I was like, he showed me that he showed me how I had to work for things. He showed me how important it is to work for it versus just him just giving it to you. Like, you know, people always be like, well, I just want him to just give it to me. Well, I don't want to have to do all that extra stuff. And it's just like, that extra stuff is what helps build you to appreciate it, to understand the trials and the tribulations of being able to even give a story to somebody. Because then it's just like, you just tell somebody, oh, it was just handed to me. They ain't gonna be inspired by that. They're not gonna want to like motivate them to want to do better or to reach the goals that you tried to reach, like they were doing for themselves. Like, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, well, she just handed it to her, let me just sit here and just wait till it get handed to me. And it's just like, no, like, that's not how it works. It's like, I had to really look in the mirror. Like, I no longer blame anyone. I took accountability for everything that I allowed to come towards me. I was just like, hey, Kiera, you gotta get it together, bro. Like, I get how you feel. Your feelings are always valid, but you allowed it to get to this place. You didn't talk. You didn't communicate. You wasn't transparent. You wasn't any of those things. And those are the things that I am. And I shied away from those things because I worried about stuff that I shouldn't worry about. Like, what are people gonna think, or, you know? Right.
I think another thing, at least for me, when last time I was going through, you know, a time like that, I realized for me, I was being too hard on myself. Yeah. I was putting all the blame on me. And that was the issue. So
that's funny you said that. That's another thing too. Like, I nailed myself to the wall, like to the point where I was beating myself up so much that everybody else forgot about it. But since I was still holding on to what I did, I just kept reminding them about what I did. And it was just like, hold on, wait a minute, are you even really ready for this? Like, cause you still stuck on a week ago, and we in the current moment, and you not in the current moment. And I had to learn how to be more present. I had to learn how to just understand, okay, you did what you did yesterday, take that accountability, learn from it, and learn how to keep pushing. Like, yes, feel through it, don't run away from it. Allow yourself to understand what you did wrong in order for you to actually genuinely learn and move from the situation. Like, I had to actually sit with myself and just be like, it's okay. Like, you're okay, Kiera. Like, you're not a horrible person. Yes, you made a mistake, but that does not mean that that's just you for forever. Yeah. It can be you if that's what you choose to be. If that's what you choose to want to dwell on, then yes, that's what you created for yourself. But once I learned that all you gotta do is just learn how to own up to the things that you know that you can't control, and understand that this is what I could have done better, and you communicate that, that's all you need. That's the recipe to success, I'm telling you. Because, boy, when you just know what you did wrong and you leave it at that, and you're not stressing about it, you're not waking up the next day dreaming about it, you know, that's whenever you know you're a little to OD, and you need to go ahead and take some breathers and check in with yourself and understand, why is this affecting you so much. And I feel like also therapy helped me with that. So it's just like my therapist really helped me see that my feelings was always valid, but I couldn't keep blaming myself for something that I didn't know at that time.
Right.
I didn't know it. I didn't understand it. So it's just like, now that you understand it, okay, now if you do it again, it's like,
and then your brain's like, how could I have been so naive?
Yes.
How could I let that get past me? And I should have did this, and I should have did that. Yeah. And it goes into a pattern and a spiral, and
it's bad.
And
it can become the most horrible thing ever that you could do to yourself. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. My my camera went dead in the midst of us talking. But I was about to ask Angelica, so where was the time where you felt like things wasn't gonna go right whenever you was battling your darkness? Like, when was the time where you feel like things wasn't gonna turn out good?
Probably last year. Last year, last summer, getting out of a relationship and moving out, and just that again, I guess that fear of the unknown. But I mean, I feel like thinking back, I handled it the best that I could, and I mean, I did what I needed to do. I felt like I was going through a moment where I was like really like turning into a woman. I don't know. Like, I just had to make a decision, and I just did it.
I call it choosing you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Because a lot of times they don't be about nothing. They don't. God, man, I'm learning that the hard way. They really don't. They mostly care about themselves and what it is that they wanted to do and how they wanted to go about things. It's just like even with my past coming back like towards me, and that past was the past that started a lot of my like finding out that I had anxiety, finding out that I could get depressed and I could be very, very sad and be so skinny to the point where everybody looking at you like, you on some drugs? What's going on? Like, you see collarbones, face, it was just a lot going on. I was just like a whole board. So it was just like, I don't know, I get where you come from with that too. It's just like the fear. Then it's like that once you do walk away from it and you do decide to put yourself first, the fear of like, how am I gonna be able to operate without that person? Like, I know that'd be so crazy to hear, but it'd be like, how am I gonna be able to make it? How am I gonna be able to do this without,
Yeah, I think for me, it was just the lifestyle, just the routine, and I'm also leaving behind a long, what was it, like 12, 13 year friendship. So also just leaving all of that behind, but also understanding that if the season is ended, like, it makes sense. I think sometimes we're like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. And it's like, well, if I really think about it, they was kind of starting to get on my nerves more anyways, So it's just like, oh well.
You realize why it was even meant to be walked away in the first place. It was like it was never really good, Like, there was good moments, but a consistency of it wasn't there. So it's just like, why do we hold on to the things that we know that's not going to get nowhere past where it already is? Yeah.
So, and at that time, I had just started working with y'all, and I mean, I was on a clean slate. So I was like, well, I ain't really got no friends, so most likely I'm probably gonna end up making friends here. And then here we are today.
Yeah. Here we are today, But that's so crazy though, because it's just like, I love that though, because it's just, you never know what somebody that's actually really going through. Because I would have never thought that she was going through that whenever I very first met you.
Yeah.
So it's just like, and I love to see people really get out of those places, because that's not easy to do. Like, going through that, like, that's not easy. Like you said, that was y'all friendship was long. Like, I feel that. Mine was long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Real long. I don't know. That was a long time, baby. And it was just like, man, the fact that it slapped you in your face, and you're like, dang, I gotta let go of this. Are you sure, Lord? Sometimes you be asking questions.
It's part of life. Like, I also had to learn during that season to be more patient with myself and give myself grace, and just to be like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. And also being mindful of like social media. Maybe there were some weeks I had to cut that all off. Like, I just couldn't do it. It was just too much. And also just being aware that I need to cut off social media. great in itself.
Yeah.
Just being aware.
Mm-hmm.
Like now if you keep getting on social media, I'll tell myself like delete the app, do something.
Yeah.
Or deactivate it for 30 days. Something. But you become so desperate of wanting to get out that situation that you do. I think we've gotten our own pattern, but we've also learned from our mistakes. And sometimes I don't know what we expect to see in ourselves when we think we've learned from something, but I don't know.
Like what you mean?
I don't be worried much. I don't trip.
Yeah.
But I know there's still things I need to work on.
Yeah.
Like,
but you notice the growth within yourself.
Yeah. Like learning I can't do that stuff no more. Don't do it no more.
Yeah.
It's just a lot, but also just putting your faith in God and just trusting Him.
Yeah, that's crazy you said that. I was about to say that. That was my word last year.
When I don't know what to do, I just stay still.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I ain't dying, so it ain't the end of the world. Sometimes I just have to think that sometimes. Like, well, I ain't dead.
Yeah.
So, still here.
Yeah.
So, it'll be alright.
Yeah. It's obvious something next that you gotta do.
Right.
If you still being able to breathe. Yeah.
Right. And then, ego. Putting our ego aside. We want to have all the nice and latest things, and sometimes you have to go through a stage in your life where you can't do all that.
Yeah.
You gotta eat rice and beans. Rice, beans, and water to make it work.
Yeah.
But
you just gotta go through the struggle, because that's another one too. Like not feeling like I'm not gonna be able to make it out of the hole that I'm in, or out of the hardship that I'm in. It's just like at the end of the day, it's just like God has been making a way for me to make things happen. It's like worrying about how am I gonna be able to pay this bill, or how am I gonna be able to go to the grocery store today, because that grocery store money don't look like grocery store money these days. Money look a little funny. So it's just like I just put my faith, like you said, put my faith in Him. Have faith. And really have faith, not just saying, "Oh, I got faith in Him, He gonna make this happen," and then you still struggling. It's just like it's because you don't really have faith that He gonna make it happen, because you still worrying in the back of your head. Even you may not be saying it out loud, but in your back of your head, you still worrying about how this is gonna happen, how that's gonna happen. It's just like you still questioning it. Like you're not really just releasing everything. When I say releasing everything, releasing control to the point to where.
Yeah. Sometimes when we do that, it sometimes will look like to other people, oh, you just don't care.
Yeah.
Like there's moments when I feel like I probably look like I don't even care. It's not that I don't care. It's just, I'm just trusting God.
Yeah. You try not to worry about it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to worry about it. So.
Because the minute that you start going frantic everywhere, that's when you like, now. You was just in that room telling me how you was gonna trust me, and now here you go walking around with your head cut off. Like what you walking around here with your head cut off for? I just told you that I was gonna help you get that car, or I'm gonna help you get that house, or I'm gonna help you be able to pay this debt off. But you still talk to your friends like, girl, I don't know how this gonna happen, girl. But then you just ask God to help you. So why not just tell them, God said it's going to happen. You know, our tongue is powerful. Whatever you speak is what's going to happen. So it's just like, I feel like the moral of everything is just like, whenever you go through any type of battle or any type of like negativity or anything of that such, it's all in you choosing to decide on what it is that you have. Because it's this video that I watched and it says negativity has 10 words, but so does positivity. Joy has 3 words, but so does joy has 3 words, but then it was so does joy, and then it was another one, joy, and then the opposite of joy. Like it was like a positive and a negative.
A positive and a negative.
Yeah. And at the end of it, it was just like we all have a choice on deciding on which one we choose to have within our lives. And a lot of people don't think like that. So it's just like, yes, me and Angelica may have went through our spiritual battles, and we may have went through these dark times, but we choose to want to have faith. We choose to believe. We choose to want to find a better way to get out of it versus being stuck in it. You know, finding ways to listening to podcasts, listening to church, and listening to gospel music to help our spirits not be stuck in that dark spirit, because that's the whole reason why the devil sent it to you, because he want to see, okay, how long can I get them to stay in this mindset, or how long can I get them to just be depressed and to be anxiety and to forget about that faith, and how long can I get them to be in this mind state, because it helps him become bigger. He'll never become bigger than God, but it helps him temporarily to have that type of power to where he feels like he's bigger than God, you know? So it's just like, once we choose to change our mindsets, and it's just step by step, you know, it's day by day. It's not gonna happen overnight. It's a hard battle, because you gotta face yourself, you gotta face reality, you gotta come to conclusions of, girl, I can't buy that purse, and let you know what I'm saying, you can't go buy what your friend buying. Your friend talking about how she went to go splurge on X, Y, and Z. Okay, be happy for her, be grateful that she's able to splurge, and your time gonna come, you know. It's just be happy for people versus just worrying about what you don't have. It's just like, I realized that I'm very ungrateful. Like I had a moment in the car with God where I was like, I said, Lord, I am so sorry for ever complaining about not being able to have money to pay for this, not being able to have money to pay for that. And I was like, somebody would die for my life right now. Like, I have a roof over my head. Right. I have food in the refrigerator. It may not be a full course meal, but it's food. You know, that I can put in my mouth and I can eat. Right. And it's just like, I got water I can drink. I have a dog that keeps me somewhat sane. You know, like, people don't be able to have those things. I can go outside and come back in. Like, you know, like, it's like I didn't appreciate, I have a car that I could drive to work. You know, I'd be complaining about going to work, going to a 9 to 5, but it's just like, girl, at least you can go to a 9 to 5. Some people can't even do that. Some people, like, I talk to people every day at work that is struggling and trying to find out how they gonna pay their mortgage. I'm worried about rent. They worried about a whole mortgage. So it's just like things that you just don't be appreciative of, that I had to come to a moment where I was like, I apologize, God. Like, I really genuinely apologize for ever just discrediting the things that you allowed for my journey to be, because this is my journey. I can't be worried about everybody else's journey, because this is my journey. And so I had to apologize to God, because I was like, girl, you is, ooh, Lord Jesus. I had that moment. I had to just share that, because
it sounded like it was an intimate moment with God.
Yeah.
Because like, my bad, I'm sorry, God.
Yeah.
I repent.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah,
but just having those, you know, real, just honest conversations with him.
It was a realization, especially after I got that promotion. It was just like, forget that I got a raise. Forget all of that. That's cool. But I got a promotion. You know what I'm saying? That means that all my hard work, all the things that I was trying to embed in myself paid off. Like, it's reflecting. Like, it's showing off on my work. It's showing off, like, on here. Like, just seeing me progressing in life and me actually reaching the goals that I really want to reach, just by me putting in a little effort, you know, like, just taking that step, taking that initiative for my life, you know, things that we normally take for granted. Right. So it's just like, I don't know, it's just looking at the bigger things in life and understanding that it could be a lot worse. Like, I could not be breathing right now, you know? So it's just me just understanding that my life can be taken in the blink of an eye, so why be ungrateful for it? Right. Yeah.
Right. Make a choice. I mean, it's okay, yes, like, there's this song called Only One Night, though. Like, have your time of, like, have your moments. Like, listen to the sad songs, watch the sad movies. Yeah. Have your moment. But you gotta say, okay, after this, I can't. Yeah. Like, get it all out. So you can get back on your feet. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, whatever. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's just a choice. Yeah. And also, that could mean, you know, you can't hang out with certain people. Man. You leave some people behind. You know, it can be a lot to process. That's why they're like, yeah, go to therapy. Like, you gotta talk about that stuff. Yeah. Because if you bottle it up, and that's what I've done sometimes. I'll keep it to myself, don't say nothing. And definitely as a mother, because you don't want your child to see you, you know, just down, and you always gotta, but there's just moments where I'm like, it's okay. Like, I'm gonna grieve this ending of this chapter in my life, but I'm also, now I'm having to find the strength to look forward to what's to come. Yeah. And be optimistic about it. Yeah. So I know that can be tough.
It can be, but I feel like it now in the current moment that I'm in, it's peaceful. Like, it's so peaceful, and it's like, this is what I prayed for. So it's just like, I didn't understand that I had to go through all that extra stuff to get to here, but like I said before, I wouldn't change anything, because it helped me become who I am today. It helped me understand, like, the importance of working for things, the importance of putting in the effort and seeing the result of what it comes out to be.
Right. And you learned all these new tools on how to help you continue, you know, just living your life. Yeah. Because it's just going to be moments where something's going to happen. I mean, we're not supposed to be anxious or looking for it, but, you know, just trusting and thinking God, like, I understand, and I know what to do this time around.
Exactly.
I know more things that I can do to help myself this time around if it was to happen again. Yeah. If that was to happen again, I know what to do now.
And it's like, I'm able to help other people
and help other people, because you never know who you will come across who's going through the same thing. Yes. And you will be that word that they actually need to hear, and you're going to say the right thing to help them. And so that's
my favorite part. I'm not gonna lie, like, that is my favorite part. Like, that brings me so much joy. It makes me so happy just seeing somebody. It's just like being able to give somebody a message and being able to uplift them through their hard times, because I wish I was able to have that whenever I was going through my stuff. So it's like being able to be some type of light, some type of weight lifted off somebody's shoulders. It's a cool feeling, because it's just like letting them know that they're not alone, letting them know that you know, you are human. These things do happen. We all go through our own spiritual darkness. We all go through our battles. We all go through our times. It's just all in choosing on how long, like you said, have your moment. Find out if you need a day or if you need 2 days or however you need to go about that in order for you to be able to push through and not allow the devil to win. Because boy, oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it has a lot to do with maturity. I think you become more mature in your decision making and understanding. I had to learn that emotions are just emotions. They will come and go. I really had to learn that. Like, when I had moments when I was feeling down or feeling anxious or depressed or what, not depressed, maybe just anxious, just irritated for a day. And having that moment to be like, okay, maybe I need to just go walk around Target. Yeah. Maybe I need to just go for a walk. And just like, I would be like, okay, Angelica, just give yourself like 2 hours to just see. If you still feel the same way, then we'll figure it out. But as right now, for these 2 hours, like, let's focus on getting your mind off of that. So in therapy, I was learning all those different tools and putting cold water on your face or counting your fingers, counting all your fingers, and reading a book, going walking, because I learned, like, I do like going outside. Yeah, me too. I was like, I like going outside. As much as I'm an inside person, I do like going and, I guess, breathing, sightseeing and being close to the water, seeing the mountains, and I think that's just being outside, grounded in a peaceful environment, I guess. So
it helps the soul. It helps you have a clear mind whenever you get out in the nature. That's why you're supposed to really go outside and put your bare feet in the grass to really, like, be connected with nature. Like, that's really important. That's something, like, God really be wanting us to do. Like, hug a tree, even though people are like, well, you a weirdo. Like, no, it's healthy to hug a tree. I hug that one all the time right there outside. Like,
there she go here hugging a tree again. Yeah, because remember, I used to live in a house, so I was outside all the time in the backyard. Now I live in an apartment, and now I'm like, I gotta get out. So now that the weather's getting better and
Feel good.
you know, I'm like, I want to go to the lake. I want to, even if it's just sitting outside on my porch. Like, I gotta get some patio furniture.
Yeah.
That's on my bucket list for before the summer hits. But just having those times outside, I think is important. Yeah. At least for me. But everybody has their own thing. Yeah. As long as you know, that's the whole point. Yeah. You need to know what to do when you're feel like you're starting to get down. Exactly. So you go do that, and it can't be anything that is going to harm you. Exactly. You know. Yeah. So also be mindful of that, or know your limits. Yeah. You know. This is facts.
To each his own, but liquor ain't it. I'm sorry to tell y'all, but liquor ain't it. That ain't it. That ain't it. It's just gonna make you be sadder temporarily, and then go down a whole spiral. I tried it. I ain't just saying it just to say it. I tried it before, and baby, it don't work. Okay, It don't work, honey. If you're watching this, it don't work, honey. Let's go try something else. Not even reefer. Reefer sometimes just tried that before too. Don't work. You gotta be in a good state of mind if you want to do those things. To be honest, I feel like you gotta have a sober mind to really, you know.
I was gonna say, there has to be a struggle before there can be a blessing.
Oh yeah, that's
a blessing. True. What's a blessing without, you know, not something had to happen to lead up to that blessing, and most likely something leading up to that, what it starts with is something bad.
Facts.
So,
and that's what I call trials and tribulations. Right. Yeah. Okay. Period. I love that.
That was something I used to always say.
Okay. First of all, y'all, my sister being real disrespectful right now. Cause why you blowing my phone up? But anyways,
she wanna talk to you.
No, not right now. It still didn't work, y'all. But we're gonna pull the audio off of this joker. But okay, y'all. Before we end this video, hold on. We're gonna pull a card like we do on every video. I don't know why she blowing my phone up, y'all. There's always something up in this camp. Is that something I'm supposed to just do? I ain't never did that before. It was just one card, so we gonna take it, y'all. Okay, so this is the 6th chakra, so it's your 3rd eye. That's this right there in the middle of your forehead. Okay, so it says knowledge. So it says, I recognize that a great deal of knowledge and information comes to me in the form of intuition, such as clairvoyance, clairaudience, and hypersensitive feelings. I use my intellect combined with my intuition to delve into circumstances from a philosophical and spiritual viewpoint. So I aim to understand the truth behind situations that come my way, as this helps me to respond with wisdom. I cultivate positive beliefs about life, myself, and others. That is crazy. They correlated to what we were talking about.
Yeah, we go through things to learn. We can't learn. We gotta mess up sometimes. We have to be gracious of ourselves. Be patient with ourselves. Forgive ourselves. And learn to walk in love.
That's crazy. Because your heart is really how you make it into heaven. Fun fact. Your heart.
In living, you're going to have to forgive all the time. And you're going to have to forgive yourself all the time too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because if you don't, then you're not going to be able to move forward in life.
Right.
Oh, I love this video. So how did you feel after doing it?
Like, I need to do some more videos. No, I'm playing. Because I got a lot to talk about.
Yes.
But this is my first video, so I'm just warming up.
Yeah.
I'm just learning your routine and seeing the whole behind the scenes.
Yeah, it was a little sucky today, y'all.
I definitely want to make sure that I can do anything or be a blessing or invest in you. Definitely. I've always had a heart for that. Yeah. You know me. You know me. No,
Yeah, she always be supporting me, y'all. She always be watching my videos, and I just love that for me. And you know, I love it that I don't have to tell nobody to watch the video, because really, for real, I don't care if I only got one view on my videos. As long as I help that one person that watched it, that's all that mattered to me, and I'm gonna always stick to that. Like, even whenever I reach the goals that I want to reach, I'm always gonna have that understanding of this is not what I wanted to do, but what I was destined to do. And I'm learning that. Like, this is what God destined for me to have my podcast and help people. And my vlogs are what I love to do. Like, I love to do my podcast, don't get me wrong. I just be a little nervous sometimes giving y'all advice and be talking about my life. It don't be that easy, y'all, but I be doing it. I be doing it, Lord Jesus. Because, people be watching like, why you say that about me?
If I said, if somebody gonna comment on the video, that's my business side. Like, don't comment to her, comment on the video. So just being more interactive. I turn your videos on when I'm like cleaning the house, like as I'm walking past the TV, and I can still hear it, you know. Or when I'm just, last night I had watched a video because I was just by myself, so I was like, I'll watch my video. So it is kind of like that. It does feel personal. So
that'd be my goal. Okay, period. Thank you.
You somebody's friend.
Yeah. That'd be my goal, cause y'all really are my friends, for real. Like, y'all my peoples, y'all my family, and I appreciate y'all for real. Like, I say it all the time in all my videos. Like, genuinely, I really do appreciate it. Like, so serious, and I'm proud of myself for being as consistent as I have been. Cause sometimes, like, here lately, I'm not gonna lie, like, I've been wanting to just kind of low key give up, but I just, you
starting to get into the algorithm and stuff. So that was another thing I was gonna tell you that I'm noticing as a consumer. Like, no, keep going, because I think your consistency, it's like on my news feed or timeline, like, you're starting to come up more. So,
I was wondering that, because I was like, Lord Jesus, but okay, you guys. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope y'all, if you made it to the end, you know what I'm saying, leave a comment down below, leave a heart, what color we got on today? We just do a purple heart. Purple vibe. She got purple in her pants, and it's crazy because we pulled the 6th chakra for our third eye. And understand that no matter whatever you're going through, whatever battle that you're facing, that you're gonna get through it, bro. I promise you, it's gonna be hard, but you got this. And if you a single mom out there like Angelica, know that you gonna get through this thing. You know, it may be some hard times, may be some times where you gotta struggle. Just learn to, I don't know, what I learned is whenever my mama, because I grew up with a single parent before my parents got married, but for the majority of my life, my mama was a single mom. And so I've always seen her do her big one and always make sure things happen. You know, I know that there was some back end things that it wasn't always pretty, but she made sure that I was taken care of and that I didn't see so much of the struggle. I've seen some things, of course, but everything's not inevitable. But just know y'all got this, and y'all can get through it. Any advice you want to give?
Pray.
Oh, yes.
That's all I can say. Pray. Get in your word. Like, I am learning more that I am thankful, because it was hammered into our heads as a young child, and now that we are adulting and we're approaching our 30s. So that's a whole nother topic, because now it's like you go to that phase when you get closer to your 30s, you're like, what have I done so far, and what should I be doing right now? So but I'm at the point right now, I'm like, well, I'm in the last half of my 20s, so I just need to stay still, just be consistent, and just let the process work. I'm not expecting anything. I have everything I need. I just need to hold it down. And then as I get close to my 30s, then, you know, I think I'm in a place right now where I'm starting to prepare for my 30s. I'm trying to get everything together.
Facts.
So it's like, it's okay if I'm not doing that much these next 2 years, but at least I need to make sure I'm getting into the habit of some of my goals that I want to see achieve before my 30s, and I can just be something simple as just making it more of a habit of eating healthier. Like, I can't
staying disciplined.
Yeah, like I can't be eating the same foods I was eating when I was 20 years old.
I had to learn that the hard way. That's why I got sick.
Like our bodies are changing, and they say like every 7 years, like you enter a different stage in life, and now I'm 28, so I feel like I'm kind of at a different, I don't know, it's kind of like mental. You know how they say your hair texture changes every 7 years? I think that all kind of plays. So, I don't know. They said something as a woman starts at 28, like you start to expand, and you just, you start to just like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
So
that must be what I'm going through. That's where I'm at 28.
Like, I get it. But then we hit 30 and it's like,
who cares? Who cares? Like, girl, who cares if they said that?
I feel like everybody starts having fun in their 40s. I feel like 40 is just that age. Yeah. Like, I still feel like I'm kind of a baby, so I don't know.
We're growing. But I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Of course, make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification button just so you know the next time I post my next video. And like I always say at the end of all of my videos, I love you guys. Peace, love, blessings. Bye, guys.